Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is a sound off on Growing Up Hip Hop. So the episode starts with TT and Sean going ring shopping. And you know, TT is my fave. I love the bougie girls, But my girl is a little bit of a bridezilla is looking like. And she wants the most expensive ring, flashiest ring. And she already got a nice engagement ring, but she wants the band to be blinged out as well. And Sean ain't really feeling that too much. You know, the girls on Twitter were like, yeah, he can't afford it. Y'all don't know what that man can afford. Don't do that. Just because you can afford it don't mean that's what you want to spend your money on, Maybe he has ideas or plans for his money, You can't be pocket watching people. She chooses the band that she wants, and now they're looking at bands for Sean. And Sean was like, I just want the most basic. Like, I'm not here for all of that. I'm not like her. I don't want all of that. And he's like, nah, your ring got to be spotted from a mile away. The people need to know that you're married. You need to know that you're married. So Sean is a bit iffy about, wearing a ring at all times. He's like, I don't have to wear it all the time. Like, I could take it off to go to the gym. And Tahira's like, boy, I will punch you in your face. And I was thinking the same thing. Like, I will choke you. Don't play with me. But I get what she's saying. Like, the people need to know that you're married. So you must wear your ring at all times. Not that stops, the Porsches of the world. Let me stop. Not that that's going to stop, all of them. But I see what she's saying. But anyway, Sean, you better wear your ring because she's not playing with you. So Cree stops by to visit Angela in her new home. And the topic of having kids comes up. And Cree shares with Angela that she's really nervous about whether or not she can have kids. She shares with her that she had an abortion once before and that she suffered a miscarriage some years later. She has issues with fibroids and she's just not sure how this is all going to work out. I sympathize with that because a lot of women, we go through those things, But she stresses the fact that she felt guilty about the abortion she had and she thinks that she's being punished by God. Hopefully all of that works itself out. Hopefully she'll be able to conceive and carry a healthy, beautiful baby because that's heartbreaking. You're not being punished. Like, things happen, life happens. God wouldn't punish you for that. I don't believe that. So it's the day of Twist's trial, and luckily for him, there was like a substitute judge and he dodges jail time. He gets 10 months probation and he only has to check in through the phone. So he definitely, God was looking out for him. And I hope that everything he promised Mac Main, that he keeps to his word, because it could have gone a different way. Twist decides to throw a celebratory party back in LA, so he sends out the text to invite everybody. So Sequoia is in the studio with her father, JoJo, from the group Jodeci, and her cousin, Devin, who is Casey's son. And they're talking about the whole blow up last season with Tanise. And they don't feel like she owes anyone an apology, right? And she's kind of like, well, I was talking to my mom and my mom says otherwise, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like Sequoia because she came in real hot last season and I was just like, what is this girl on? You coming in here talking about you want beef with Angela, and it was like, girl, y'all, like, what is going on here? And she has a completely different attitude, a different energy. She don't want to. She don't want no beef. She wants to fix everything. Watched herself on TV and saw how ridiculous that she looked going off about Angela and Tanise. She saw how ridiculous it was. And she's just like, you know what? I'm turning over a new leaf. I don't want to see myself portrayed like that on television no more. So I'm going to do what I need to do and make it right. That's pretty much where the girl is at. And unfortunately for her, there's going to be some people that aren't going to allow her to just turn over a new leaf just like that. Unfortunately. So everyone is heading over to Twist's pool party. So you have Lucretia and Savannah in the car, and it seemed like they're on their mean girl shit this season because they're on their way to the party and they're talking about Sequoia, calling her Sequins, Cree calling her Sequence, and Savannah calling her Sequins. I don't think that either of them are catching on that they're calling her something different, but they don't care because they're trying to make fun of her. And it's like, I guess. Lucretia wants to know, why is Sequoia coming to the party? Who is her friend? Who invited her? And it's like, girl, last time I checked, Twist didn't even like you. She's invited because she's on this show. The producers want her on the show, just like you're on this show. Last year, who did you know? Who was your friend last year? Don't do that. That's not cool. She was invited to the party. If you don't want to go, then don't go. It's still time for you to turn around in the car and be like, okay, I'm not going. But anyways, so everyone starts to get to the parties in their little groups or what have you. Sequoia, Lucretia, and Savannah arrived first. Then it was JoJo. I think Brianna came next. E and Aaliyah. I don't remember the sequence, but it was something like that. The vibe is cool. Twist shows up. He has some white girls. He has some strippers show up. And everything is cool until Sequoia and Devin walks in. Ciao. So Twist greets them at the door and he welcomes them in. And he was like, hey, have fun. Everybody, Sequoia and Devin are here. And everybody's kind of giving them like, yeah. So Sequoia and Devin, they take their seats and it's real awkward because JoJo's like sitting across from them and they don't speak to each other. The moment that Savannah spots Sequoia, she just starts talking noise and she's making fun of her outfit and she's doing little dances and being funny. Lil Easy's wife was a part of it and she laughing and making jokes. Now, I like Lil Easy, okay? But his wife, I don't understand her. This the same little girl that was disrespectful as all hell to your husband in your face. And you sitting there kikiing with her while she bullies and taunts someone else at your big age? Savannah is saying in her confessionals that she don't really know Sequoia, but the moment that she threw a drink at pregnant Tanise, that everything was over. Now, let's not do that because I don't think that girl knew that Tanise was pregnant. They weren't really talking about it, her pregnancy like that. If I remember correctly, it was supposed to be some type of a secret because she was still very early on. So don't do that. Don't do that. So Lil E decides to take Devin over to introduce him to the rest of the party. And Sequoia decides to stay back because she can already sense that the energy over there is real stank. He walks over there and he introduces Devin to his wife, Aaliyah, first. They can barely finish exchanging pleasantries without Savannah jumping in saying, you tweeted me? You at me on Twitter? You said something to me on Twitter? And he was like, oh, nice to meet you, And she was like, nah, I don't know why you said something to me on Twitter. And Devin is like, well, you had said something to my cousin. And she's like, cousin, mama, sister, I don't give a... Just cussing. The man ain't barely put his 2 feet in. Like, girl. Child, that's exhausting. I ain't gonna be able to watch all of that. I'm not gonna be able to watch the season if that's what we gotta look forward to. Cause girl, like, you have a chip on your shoulder for why? This is not even really your beef. You involved yourself in something and now your feelings are hurt. But anyways, her pit bull, her bodyguard standing to the left, watching this go on, and like she's going back and forth with this guy. This guy didn't even say, no, get away from me. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know you. But he wasn't even talking to you, and you accosted him, asking him questions. Clearly, you're looking for some type of acknowledgement, some type of moment. Whatever. Devin is still trying to be pleasant with her and speak to her, and she's just popping off and just saying all types of disrespectful stuff. And he's like, you know what? It's good. I'm just going to go back over there. So he goes back and he takes a seat next to his cousin. And the awkward energy is still in the air. So Twist walks up on Sequoia and Devin, and he overhears about what just happened between Savannah and Devin. And he was like, oh, no. It's not going to be no attitudes in my party. We're going to cut this out right now. He walks over to Savannah, and she's still going off. And Twist is like, girl, you're going to check that attitude. You need to calm down. Like, what is the problem? And she's like, oh, he added me on Twitter. The tweet that they showed, it don't require all of this energy. It just, I don't even know how you remembered this, but okay. This is like, look, I'm gonna make her come apologize to you and we can just let this go. Savannah was like on her knees. She needs to apologize on her knees. That's when I knew I was done with Savannah. I was like, what? Who the hell you think that you are? You must be fighting weak bitches. Cause one day somebody is going, girl, why are you so angry and rude? Oh my God, like her attitude is disgusting at this point. Like, I liked her last season at the top of the season, but she just does too much. Just too much. So Lil E is talking to Sequoia, and Sequoia is like, I kind of feel bad that JoJo's right there and I didn't speak to him, and I don't know if I should. Twist walks over and he's like, you ain't spoke to JoJo? JoJo, come here. Let's nip this in the bud. There's no reason. This is not any real beef. Let's talk about it. JoJo comes over and Sequoia just lets him know, like, you know what? I went home. I saw how I looked and I realized what Tanise said really wasn't that bad. I overreacted and I really shouldn't have acted the way that I did. I wish that she was here so that I could speak to her, but she's not here. And JoJo was like, look, I had no problem with that. I let my wife speak for herself. But I did have an issue with, I was really nice to you, welcoming to you, and you have an argument with my wife. And then I find out you don't like my sister. What's good? And so Sequoia explains herself. Now, I will say, we all saw how she came in real hot last season. But the girl realized her mistakes, and she's trying to be apologetic and move forward. And JoJo sees it and he says, you know what, I can appreciate that because it takes a big person to do what you're doing. So it's squashed. We can let it go. And that's what happens. So now that Sequoia has apologized to JoJo, Twist wants her to go clear the air with Lucretia and Savannah. And Sequoia is like, She could tell. They've been talking about her since she walked in the door. They're looking at her. They're giving her stank faces. She's like, I'm not going over there. They do not want to make it right with me. So her cousin is like, you know what? I'll go over there and extend an olive branch. And the moment they get there, of course, Savannah is being rude, per usual. And Cree is jumping in. And they're just going back and forth, back and forth. Was you interfering? And he was like, look, simply, I have apologized. I know that, we started off on a wrong foot. But I didn't want my cousin feeling like no one had her back. Lucretia is like, well, you can't have her back. You can only have it to a certain extent in person. And it's just like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, but anyways, they go nowhere because he's still trying to be decent. He could have been disrespectful and cursed both of y'all the hell out like Twist did last season, right? But he didn't do that. He's still trying to be a pleasant person. He's still trying to rise above, and they wouldn't let him do it. So he gives up, he concedes, and he walks away. And he lets his cousin know, like, girl, I wouldn't even get them girls no energy because you're not gonna go nowhere. It's not gonna get anywhere with them. So at this point, it appears to me that Savannah and Lucretia are upset that Sequoia is not playing into their hands. She's paying them debts. She refuses to go over there. She's staying on her side of the party, and they're on their side. So Lucretia takes it upon herself to go and sit in the midst of where Sequoia is. And she's like, I don't have a problem with her, so I'm just going to go and address her. So as Cree takes her seat, Savannah and Aaliyah walk over to the bar. And Aaliyah, you look, girl, like at your big age, you're following behind Savannah. This the same girl? Girl, bye. Anyway, they go to the bar, they grab the Douce bottle, and then Lucretia is like, Savannah, come here. Savannah walks over there and Twist is like, look, are you guys ready to speak like adults? And she looked over and she was like, watch this. And she commences to start talking her shit. She starts to talk her shit to Sequoia. And Sequoia is just sitting there looking so pretty and just unbothered and just like, oh my God, what is this? This is stupid. Flipping her hair, rolling her eyes. And Savannah is just going off, talking about some, I don't care nothing about you. And so Sequoia's like, are you done? And she was like, I'm not done, but if I was done, you wouldn't do nothing about it. You really need to go do something with yourself. Take care of your son. Everybody know talking about people's kids is fighting words. And Sequoia been sitting there, relaxed, chill, zen the entire time. But the moment that girl mentioned her child, it was a problem. She jumped up and lunged at her. Savannah threw the deuce at her. Of course, they broke it up and they took Savannah to the left. Now, she's like, don't mention my son. Do not mention my son. She gets bucked. She gets upset. And she lunges at Savannah. And Savannah throws, I guess, the Douce bottle. They break it up and they escort Savannah somewhere to the side. And she's talking her shit still. And she's really angry. She's really angry because Sequoia says she looked like Chucky. It's like, girl. Twist at this point had already told her several times that she had no home training. She didn't get mad at none of that. But she's still mad about some months old tweets that says she looked like Chucky. Girl, bye. Lucretia then jumps up, and of course the producers are trying to get between them, and she's like, no, I could talk to her. I have 4 businesses. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna hit her. I'm not gonna hit her. And she was like, you can't get mad about her bringing up your son. You brought your son into this. You can't be mad about her bringing up your son. You brought your son into this. You're the one that did that. And Sequoia is like, girl, I don't have a problem with you. Please stay out of this. Do not get involved. Please stay out of this. And of course, Lucretia doesn't plan on staying out of it. She's like, no, she has her speech ready and she ain't leaving until she says her speech. Lucretia gonna say, you have a problem with all my friends. Time out. Who are all your friends? Who are all your friends? Angela and Tanise? They left you for dead. Last episode, when you went to confront TT, they left your ass for dead. How are they your friends? Did we miss something? Because last season, isn't that when you met them? You wanted to confront Tahira, and she said, oh, no, you're grown. You got it. I'm going to leave. I don't do drama. But you're standing here coming for this girl. Like, you tower over her. She's like, what, 4'11"? You standing up there trying to come at this girl? You did your friend Angela a disservice because, number one, you appointed yourself her spokesperson. You're making her seem like as if she cares about this more than we know. We know she don't care about this. We know that Angela does not give a damn about none of this here, but you're making it seem as if she does care. You're making yourself look like you want to be the Simmons flunky. Like you want to prove that you are so down for them. Like, what is that? It's embarrassing. Angela would never do any of this for you. And I don't care what you say. We know she's not going to do this. She showed us last week she wasn't going to do this. Child. Angela got up and Tanise was right behind her. And she was like, when you decided to use Angela for a storyline, you brought your son into this. You're talking about a relationship that was over a decade ago. And so Sequoia's like, girl, what are you talking about? You're talking about hearsay. You don't even know what happened. And she's like, well, Savannah told me. She said, exactly. Savannah told you. You don't know the facts. You don't know anything. And I ain't gonna lie. Sequoia, you did come on the show coming for Angela. And your new energy leads me to believe that producers told you to come for Angela. Producers thought it would be interesting to link you and Angela. Never mind that your uncle and your father were part of the legendary group Jodeci. They want to link you to Angela. Angela, who does not partake in such foolishness. I don't think the other producers like Angela too much because I didn't understand what that was. Like, why would they even do that? But anyways, Creole her soapbox, going in, talking loud and doing all of this to the girl. And she was like, you don't understand. When it comes, you don't understand because you don't have kids. When you have children, you will understand. When you have children, you will understand as a mother And she doesn't even let the girl finish what she's saying. And she was like, don't talk to me about no mother effing kids. And blah, 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 blah. And they're pushing her back. And I guess as they're pushing her back, Lucretia starts to lose it. She starts getting emotional. She starts crying. And she start lunging. As she's doing that, Savannah done crept her little bride of Chucky ass on over there and strikes the girl while she's sitting down. And it's like, you so tough, like fight the girl one-on-one. When you were standing in front of her, you did not swing. You did all of that to come at her when you knew she couldn't defend herself back. That was mad corny. All hell breaks loose. They start trying to jump on this girl like some wild banshees. And I could not believe that I was sitting there rooting for Sequoia. The way that Lucretia and her tag team Banshee were behaving, it was disgusting. I did not like that. The way they was carrying on, you would have thought that they was really fighting over something. Like the people who were really involved don't even care. Producers tried to tell Lucretia, JoJo has already accepted an apology from this girl. Well, I don't care if JoJo accepted an apology. She don't care because she wants Angela to see that she fought for her. That means you think your friend is weak. That's what this is telling me. This makes Angela look really terrible. It looks like Angela sent you to do her dirty work. It looks like Angela is too scary to face her own issues. It looks like she's a fake bitch. I don't think that any of that is true, but that's what you're making it look like because Angela has been handling herself just fine all these years. She'll need you to speak for her. If her brother can make amends with this girl, you don't have to make amends with her, but you also don't need to jump in her face and try to beat her down. For what? For why? Oh, that was over a decade. Yeah, a decade ago. You didn't even know Angela back then. So stop. You don't know what happened. I would love to know if Angela even had this conversation with you. Because I guarantee you Angela was like, girl, I don't care. Or unless you're trying to tell us that Angela really is a messy bitch behind the scenes but just wants to keep it fake for the cameras. Is that what you're telling us, Lucretia? Anyways, it's 7 people trying to hold Lucretia. You got 15 people trying to hold Savannah. And you got a whole nother team of people holding Sequoia. And at this point, Sequoia is with the shits. She's sick of y'all. Because she came in there on the right. She came in there with the right attitude, with an apologizing spirit. She wanted to dead the issue. Y'all wanted smoke from the moment you saw her. And it really just made y'all look like some hating ass bitches. Because that girl was not the least bit concerned with y'all. She peeped the vibe. She saw that y'all didn't want nothing to do with her. She saw that y'all were being aggy. So she sat on her side of the party. And y'all brought the bullshit to her feet. So now she wants the action as well. And I'm glad they did not allow that girl to just really fight. But they jumped that girl. They kept sneaking her. Because it literally was going from in the house, out the house. Lucretia tried to pick up some pool balls to throw at the girl. It was a mess. These girls weren't acting like they had legacies. Because I remember Lucretia kept talking about, my father has a legacy. My father is a legend. Your father is a legend. And Tahira's father ain't a legend in the music industry. But you don't carry yourself as such. You was calling people ghetto. You was talking about how Twist acted at the party. Look how you're acting at his party. In these people's Airbnb. I'm sorry. But if a girl that was that much taller and that much bigger than me, bitch, you might get stabbed. You ain't gonna run your big ass up on me. If I see some big ass bitch charging at me, I'm not gonna stand there and get my ass beat. Lucretia and Savannah, y'all were out of line. Y'all were out of order. Y'all acted like wild banshees, and it was disgusting. It was horrible. This the same girl last episode was talking about, oh, TT, you made me look unprofessional. What was this? That shit really annoyed me. Lucretia and Savannah, that annoyed me. Lucretia, you allowed yourself to be You following behind Savannah? You're supposed to be the adult in the friendship. You're supposed to be the influence. You're supposed to be the one encouraging her to do better and to leave behind childish, stupid antics. Instead, you playing follow the leader. She get the stuff cracking and then you jump in as reinforcement. What kind of mess is this? I understand being triggered. I know, like, one of the worst things you can tell a woman is that they don't have kids. Like, to use that as an insult or as a dig to hurt them. But that's not even what that girl did to you. You opened yourself to be disrespected. You opened yourself to be triggered. Because how the hell you gonna tell this girl, oh, you can't be mad at Savannah for mentioning your kid because you brought your kid into this beef with Angela. With Angela, not with, like, girl. You can't tell her what to be triggered by and then turn right around and be triggered by damn near the same thing. Y'all kept mentioning her son on purpose. What you were supposed to do was say, Savannah, don't talk about her child. Savannah, don't talk about her child. But instead, you support the bullshit, and that's why you got your feelings hurt. When you become a mom, you will understand. And if you can pop off on a hypothetical situation, you can pop off of what she told you. Imagine what somebody says about when you finally do have a kid, imagine when someone says something about your kid. You're going to resort to the same behavior. And then you have the nerve to tell this girl she can't be upset about her child being brought into nonsense. Y'all was wild disrespectful. Anyways, it was just a mess. It was a mess. And I cannot believe you guys have converted me to Team Sequoia, because I was not feeling Miss Sequoia last season. I really wasn't. But I cannot stand no bullies. And that's what the hell you got. That's what y'all are. Y'all are some bullies. Y'all some big ass bullies. That girl is 4'11" and you wanted to jump. Your big ass wanted to jump on that girl. Shame on you. It was definitely giving jealous. It was giving bothered. It was that girl literally was sitting there minding her own business. She didn't say nothing to any of you. You came over there to taunt her and intimidate her. And when she popped off about her son, now y'all both sitting there looking stupid. Savannah, they had to fold that bitch. They fold that bitch up like a picnic chair and put her in the van. All that money you making, girl, you gonna be spending it all on lawyers and legal fees, girl. Don't talk to me about no mother effing kids. Don't talk to her about her kid. What's not clicking? Lucretia and rude ass Savannah, you guys have thoroughly embarrassed yourselves. So I'm gonna need her to make a retraction about Tahira slandering her name and messing up her business, because girl, you do that all by yourself. You acted like a wild banshee because you can't stay out of other people's business. This was hella embarrassing. This was ghetto. This was ghetto. Like Miss Wanda would say, this was shameful. Growing up, this is growing up ratchet. This is not growing up hip hop. Like, they have maintained one thing about growing up hip hop. They've had their moments, they've had their antics, but this, cause that girl must have really hurt. Her feelings must have really been hurt. She must have really saw Chucky when she looked in the mirror, because girl. And Sequoia was just sitting there looking pretty. But baby, when y'all mentioned her baby, she was not playing with none of y'all. She wanted all the smoke. She wasn't scared of neither one of y'all. She was like, when they were escorted out, and they had to pack them up into the van like equipment. Sequoia was like, y'all think y'all tough? Y'all in my city. And she's like, shut up. You shut up. Lucretia, you shut up. Girl, I hope Angela rides for you like that. Because I promise you, you look foolish. You look foolish as hell. You look foolish as hell fighting on behalf of Angela. Because Angela didn't shoot one scene with this girl. I don't think Angela cared at all. And the thing about it is, Angela is a producer on this show. She knows how this shit goes. She know they egged that girl to go on and do that shit. And that's why when she came back this season, she came with a different energy. I have never seen nobody flip and be remorseful about their actions and want to make things right. Not like that. And y'all wanted to just jump on somebody. Big ass bullies. Anyways, I was big mad at this episode. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyways, that's my sound off. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.